What happens when filming in public turns into a $10,000 mistake for police? In this case, one man stands quietly outside a station with a camera, and within minutes, officers start twisting legislation, inventing authority, and threatening arrests under laws that simply don't apply. But here's the twist. Instead of backing down, he pushes back with calm, precise knowledge of the law. And when this finally reaches court, the force doesn't just lose, they pay. The real question is this. Was this policing or pure ego? Let's break it down.
Okay, so you are?
I'm Inspector Creed. I'm perfectly happy with you filming. No
Fine.
problem with you filming whatsoever.
Cool.
It's just the fact that you're on the police premises here.
Yeah,
and
but
we do ask the public to remain on the public
there's no
area.
signage. There's no signage. There's nothing blocking me
Well, you've
from
just
stopping me from walking round.
Well, there is a barrier there.
Yeah, that's for
and there's
cars.
a fence there.
That's for cars. I didn't jump over anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can help you with at all?
Yeah, you can stop abusing my rights and let me film. That's what you said.
I'm not stopping you filming.
Okay, then.
No
well,
problem with you filming
well, I
at
can
all.
film in the car park. There's nothing stopping me from filming in the car park.
As part of our insurance reasons, as well as the security of the site, we don't allow members of the public on here. So that's why I'm asking you to leave and move out onto the public area. You can either go out here or you can go onto the public access area.
Right here is where things start unraveling. The officers suddenly invoke implied right of access, as if it's a magic legal phrase that gives them authority to remove anyone they dislike. But implied access works the opposite way. It allows members of the public to enter property for lawful purposes unless clearly restricted. It does not grant police automatic power to override public space. Notice how Yardley calmly asks for clarity while they escalate emotionally. Ask yourself this. If the inspector already gave permission, why are lower-ranking officers attempting to override it without verification? That inconsistency is critical.
Do not talk to me. Listen, stop talking to me. No, I'm not going to listen to you. And if you touch me, right, that's going to be an assault as well. So just, look, you've got your hands up. You've got your hands up. Right, so excuse out of my way, please. Excuse out of my way. Excuse out of my way.
You can film.
Oh, listen to me. Please get out of my way. Please get out of my way. Get out of my way. Let me
The Chief
pass.
Constable holds the right to restrict your access, okay? You're more than welcome to film on the public bits, but we can't have you filming by the gate, obviously, because it's got a keypad, okay, which is a private
I'm not listening to you, what you're saying. You're just
you
talking.
are.
No, I'm not. You're talking to yourself, and I'm going forward. And I'm going forward. Do not listen. You're standing right in front of me.
I'm saying
Right, so why not?
Because it's an implied right of access.
No,
We have the
listen,
right
I've
to
got
remove you.
I've
We have the right
got
to
a right
remove
of
you.
access. I've been told, okay,
No.
by an
Yeah, you
inspector. By an inspector.
And this right of
Okay.
access is now being revoked.
No, we'll go and get an inspector to revoke it because I've been told by an inspector that I can film here.
I don't need an
No,
inspector.
well, I've been told that I can film here.
What I am happy
I've
to
been
do.
told. No. Listen.
told you about what's upsetting you.
Nothing. Well, you're upsetting me because you're not doing your job. He just went and threatened.
This is a pivotal moment. When the officer claims they can overrule an inspector's decision, that's not just questionable. It exposes a breakdown in both command structure and legal understanding. Policing isn't based on personal preference. It operates within defined authority and rank matters. More importantly, filming in public isn't something officers grant. It's a lawful activity by default. So what we're watching now is enforcement. It's frustration building. And frustration in uniform can become dangerous when it starts searching for legislation to justify itself.
Threaten me. So you're telling me somebody can threaten you anywhere, but all you're worrying about is me not filming in a place
At
of.
the moment, yes.
Yeah. Why?
Correct.
Who started the initial crime? Who initially evoked
At
a
the
crime?
moment, I'm here because you're here.
No.
Filming in a place you're
Well, you
not allowed
shouldn't
to
be.
film.
You should be after that guy first because he's getting away. Who is he?
At the moment, I
Who's
don't know.
that bloke?
I don't know.
Why don't you know that?
Because I don't work with him.
So how are you going to find him?
Well, if you've got CCTV, I'll identify.
Okay.
that, okay.
Oh, you will.
What I'm more concerned about at the
No,
moment.
I'm not going nowhere. I've
So
been
you
told that I
can't
can film it. I can.
You can, but you
I can
can't
film
film
it.
here.
I can film it. No, and I'm telling you that I've been told by an inspector that I can film here. Okay, Inspector Creed. Okay, now off you go because this is what he said. Okay, I can film here. So unless another inspector comes down and wants to tell me that, No, I'm not going to take it from you.
I have the right to tell you can't film it.
No, you're not going to supersede the inspector because he told me that I can film it.
Okay, from my sergeant and from my inspector.
No.
I've been told
Which inspector? Who's the inspector?
Inspector Cutter.
Okay, where's Inspector Cutter?
He's in the building.
Okay, we'll go and get Inspector Cutter to come out and tell me.
Because I'm asking you.
No, and I'm politely refusing and I'm declining because I've already been told by Inspector Creed that I can film here. So
we have.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Overrule that.
Now, this is where it becomes legally serious. Section 68 of the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994 applies specifically to aggravated trespass, meaning someone must first be trespassing on private land and intentionally disrupting lawful activity. But pause the footage mentally for a second. Where's the trespass? Where's the obstruction? Where's the disruption? Filming keypads or registration plates, whether officers like it or not, does not automatically convert into aggravated trespass. When legislation is stretched beyond its scope, it doesn't strengthen authority. It weakens credibility. And courts don't reward creative reinterpretation of criminal law.
I've already told you that I'm not allowing you to talk simply because I want you to do something which you haven't done. So therefore, by you carrying on with your waffle, right, I'm giving you that opportunity to talk. But I'm not going to give you that opportunity to talk, so I'm going to stop you right there. When an inspector comes out, then he can tell me that. I'll tell him that what Inspector Creed says. We'll have that discussion there. Because as far as I'm concerned, I have been given, the right to film here. No, I'm not talking to you no more. I'm telling you, right? I've just told you.
But why let's have a conversation?
Don't worry about it, all right?
I don't understand why you're being...
Because I want you to go and sort out this first thing. You're not doing it. You're not doing your job. You're standing there, wasting time, my time, your time, everybody's time.
What's the reason for filming here? That's what I don't think you can, but what's the reason?
Well, it'd be a bit hard to draw.
Here's the part that rarely gets discussed enough. When unlawful arrests happen, it isn't just about pride or being right in the moment. It becomes a financial consequence, and not for the officers personally. The payout, the legal costs, the administrative expenses, that burden shifts directly onto taxpayers. That means public funds are used to defend decisions that never should have been made. So the bigger question becomes, should there be greater accountability when misapplied legislation leads to financial loss? Or does the system currently shield those mistakes too comfortably?
Just curious to know how to treat you, what your experience is and what you may or may not know.
I'm not somebody who gets myself into trouble.
Okay, no, that's fine. Right, well, long story short, I'm the First Year Sergeant, so it's my job to look after you here, and I'm sure you're dealt with fairly as well.
Okay.
To that end, I'm going to ask obviously a few questions to find out why you're here, and I've got some questions for you, see how you're doing physically, mentally. Okay. Bearing in mind when I ask the officers about why you're here, that is them explaining why they've done what they've done. That's not an allegation to you for you to sort of necessarily reply to. Okay, because otherwise we'll end up in a conversation, I suspect. Okay.
Yardley's arrest under Section 68 wasn't...
Watch the contrast carefully. Throughout this entire exchange, Yardley remains consistent, asking questions, requesting clarification, and referencing specific officers by name. Meanwhile, the responses from police shift from explanation to assertion to threat to arrest. That progression is telling. Good policing relies on procedure, not pride. When procedure is abandoned, escalation becomes emotional rather than lawful. And once emotion drives enforcement, mistakes compound rapidly. This case becomes less about filming and more about what happens when authority feels challenged.
Just dismissed. It backfired completely. The force didn't just lose. They paid for it. Yardley walked away with $1,500 in damages. But the true cost ran much higher. Once the legal fees, counsel costs, and court expenses were added up, the total bill reached nearly $10,000. All funded by the taxpayer. Not the officers who twisted the law. Not the ones who made the unlawful arrest. You and I ended up footing the bill for their mistakes, and that's the real insult here. When officers abuse their powers, they don't feel the consequences. The public does. What makes it worse is that this entire legal battle was completely avoidable. If those officers had just followed the law instead of their ego, there would have been no lawsuit, no payout, and no wasted public money. But they doubled down on an arrest that never should have happened, forcing the case into court, where it collapsed instantly. In the end, the force had no choice but to settle, because defending the indefensible would have cost them even more. This is what happens when officers believe their authority outweighs the law. Sooner or later, the law catches up. Let's make one thing clear. Yardley was never trespassing. He was standing on public land, filming quietly, bothering no one. And trespass itself? It isn't even a criminal offense, it's a civil matter. For aggravated trespass to apply, there first has to be trespass. And the officers couldn't prove that because it never happened. The defense statement made it crystal clear. If someone isn't a trespasser, Section 68 cannot apply. The law doesn't bend to police opinion. It demands evidence. And in this case, there was none. Yardley wasn't obstructing, intimidating, or interfering with anything. The officers tried to stretch legislation that simply didn't fit, and the...
So what's the takeaway from this case? A lawful activity was misinterpreted. Legislation was stretched beyond its limits. An arrest was made without the necessary legal foundation. And when the matter reached legal scrutiny, it collapsed, resulting in damages, wasted public funds, and reputational damage to the force. This wasn't about public safety. It became about control. And when control overrides clarity, accountability follows. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom and body cam breakdowns. Your support helps keep independent legal analysis alive. Let's keep holding power to the standard it's supposed to uphold.